that end?
Jay. 2-0. I think that Quang just lost footing of like how he needed to get back to stage. Rosa very good at ledge trapping. Kind of forced Quang up into the air and didn't allow him to land at all, which is what Rosa does best.
Just looking ahead to see what we've got in the rest of the bracket. All right, we got some interesting matches. Looks like you're going to have to face off against Suarez at some point.
Yeah, you know that's the same exact bracket. I had to play Blackbird into Suarez last week, which is kind of dumb. But, oh, we see the Mewtwo coming out from Quang.
It is a strong choice, but I don't know how well that's going to work against Jay. This will be very interesting.
Right, I know that Quang has been having a lot of practice with Mewtwo lately because of the fact that, you know, Kirby doesn't cover too many matchups, so that's pretty much what he has Mewtwo and Greninja for. But he actually beat Florida with Greninja recently.
Okay.
And he's been very happy with that result, and he's been using him a bit more. But what's this match about?
So Mewtwo can take advantage of the fact that Shadow Claw, his forward air comes out pretty quickly.
Right.
Back air, up air, down tilt, all moves that let Mewtwo space inwards and try to fend off Luma.
Right.
Getting rid of Luma is sort of one of the key aspects of this matchup. However, the way that most Rosalinas play it, and Jay included, is that he doesn't really have to worry about that. He's able to space around to sort of play the long con, and the more the damages get cooked up,
wow,
the
very
better
nice
it's gonna
get-up
go.
read. Quang doing surprisingly well for his first stock, not letting Jay get back to stage. Very good job at ledge trapping and using that nair to really oppress his neutral forward. That shadow ball.
I found it very odd that
Ooh.
that it just outright missed Luma.
Ooh, very good job from Quang. He's kind of just not letting Jay play neutral at all, abusing those like really big hitboxes and kind of walling out Jay and all.
That's what you have to do with Mewtwo. Mewtwo is very good at suppressing movement options. He's able to use his speed and the fact that he has moves that could just take up a lot of space.
Right, that air dodge, you know, supporting him very well on the ground, you know, making up half of his neutral pretty much, allowing him to air dodge into fair, air dodge into up air, and like kind of just bait with it overall.
So here's the key to Mewtwo, more specifically fighting Mewtwo. When Mewtwo jumps, at that point he has to commit to an option, whether or not it's air dodge, whether or not it's an aerial, or even if it's a tomahawk, if he just doesn't go for anything. Once he's in the air, he has to do something, and he's a big target. He can't really afford to move around quickly.
Wow, that's going to take it.
Trying to go for the anti-air options is going to work really well for Brother Quang as he manages to take game one.
Yeah, I think the main thing Quang was doing is really not letting Jay land at all. That was like pretty much the whole thing he did. Using that up smash to his advantage and as a little bit of like a very good anti-air, just kind of catching Jay's air dodges.
It's definitely more unorthodox, but hey, man, if it works, it works.
It's working. But where could you see Jay going? Maybe town?
The Dreamland pick. Okay, that's a dangerous one. So logically, it works for Rosalina because you've got your platforms and you have a normal ceiling.
Right.
So killing off the top is definitely going to be the preferred option. And as we all know, Rosalina has no trouble killing off the top. My problem is that Quang was killing off the top in the previous game.
Right.
Mind you, he was doing so with an up smash.
Oh, no.
Oh, you want that taunt too?
Oh, my God.
All right, let him know, King.
Let him know. Don't get too ahead. All right, don't get too ahead of yourself, Jay, because you know Quang took that first game very convincingly. You know?
I mean, he did, but this is there was no damage put on until just this grab.
All right, no JV3, no JV3. But I don't know what's really different about the game. I think that early gimp right there might have crushed Brother Quang's mentality just a little bit.
So I'd give Quang a bit more credit than that, but this is definitely looking like Jay's just running a clinic.
Oh, all right, still living, not out of it yet.
And that's going to get punished with the back air. It's going to help assert further control. Offside, Quang with a very bold recovery, but it's not really going to matter because we're going to go right into game 3.
He didn't play.
That was a cute button warmer.
He didn't play. He kind of
honestly just don't do that.
He was kind of just the body bag.
Yeah, it was time to cook.
Yeah, and you know, got cooked.
That's how it be. Quang hit with the hard thinkums now because he's got to figure out if he's running with Mewtwo or if he's going to switch to anyone else in his character pool.
Right.
And he has a respectable character pool. But it looks like Mewtwo's sticking. And as for where they're going, I could see the...
Lilat pick.
That's
wow.
not what I was going to say.
Maybe he's trying to get some jank.
He can hope for jank, but unfortunately, you're not playing the right kind of character if you're wishing for jank on Lilac Cruise.
Right.
Although, Mewtwo can make good advantage of the fact that it's a very claustrophobic stage. The platforms are very low, the stage is relatively small, and the placement of the platforms let Quang shark through with his up smash.
Right.
It's going to let him get rid of Luma very quickly in this game 3, but it's also going to give Quang a lot easier of a time to control the stage.
If I'm not wrong, correct me if I am, but is it true that Shadow Ball also gets hit like DD Gordo and SPK Fire? Like it also gets like destroyed by Lilat when it tilts?
It will clip onto the stage.
Right.
So because of the geometries of the stage, the collision is always active. Like you're always going to be trying to find a different path.
That down air really strong, connecting, killing Quang at a really low percent. Like that was like 80.
Yeah, that was a bit questionable DI, and also just the fact that they were both around the 80% range, and that's a little bit of rage. Definitely helps.
Wow, is that going to kill him?
That was
No,
actually
not yet.
really good SDI to try and get into the sours of that.
He SDI'd there?
You can try to clock it down a little bit, and there are times when it's going to make the difference. If you just start mashing yourself down, it's going to...
Oh! Wow. That was a 2-frame, right?
Yo, speaking of DI, he was just getting popped by the down air.
You know, Quang kind of shielding, running around, try and find that one option that'll let him get this kill, but Jay not having it. Getting Quang back up in the air.
And just like you mentioned, oh, that was also just really bad DI.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's how it goes, though, and Jay's going to end up taking the set 2-1. Well.